Well, welcome everybody to another exciting episode of Cooking with Country. I'm your host, Tacitus Kilgore. We're going to go ahead and jump right in it with another episode of AITA, Am I the Asshole? And I'm going to pull them up live. And like I said, I'm not going to read them until I bring them up. Am I the asshole for telling my son not to invite my wife to his graduation? That don't sound too exciting. Let's see what we got next. Am I the asshole for telling my DIL she is not a mother? By the way, everybody, that last episode talking about seal and meal, my dumb ass didn't realize those were acronyms for son-in-law and mother-in-law. So I'm just not figuring that shit out. So yeah, let's go ahead and just move on and get ahead of this learning curve. The hell is a DIL? Well, this sounds like a good one. I, 64 female, have 3 kids and they are all married. This post is about my son and his wife, Jenny. You put the real name in. Jenny struggles with infertility and she has no children. My other son, DIL, is expected next month, and my daughter has recently had her own grandson. Everyone was busy for Mother's Day and they couldn't meet with me for the holiday. That fine. At this point, I think I'm going to just read it the way she's saying it because English was not her friend. That fine. They are starting their own families. I thought it would be nice to send my expecting DIL/son and my daughter a Mother's Day basket. So Jenny always made comments that her 2 dogs are the first grandkids, and I always thought it was a joke. She is big on being a dog mom. My daughter posted a picture in the group chat of everything she got for Mother's Day, included the basket. And my other DIL also thanked me for her basket in the chat. Okay, daughter-in-law. Okay, I got it now. Jenny called me soon after and asked where her basket was. I was confused and asked what she meant. I thought she was pregnant and she was just telling me now. She clarified since I have 2 grandkids by her already and said her dog's name. I was more confused at this, and she clarified that she is her dog's mother and should have gotten a basket. I told her she is not a mother. Mother's Day is for women that raise human children and not pet owners. She got really upset and cursed me out for not getting her a basket and that she is a parent. My son is telling me to apologize and to send a Mother's Day basket over. She is calling me a jerk for not sending her a basket and telling her she is a pet owner. Well, mother of 3 kids. No, you're not an asshole. That lady has a problem. So one thing, and I can already tell, you know how they talk about, well, race and color doesn't have a sound. Fuck that shit. After reading that, I know it's a white woman. One thing about most white women, I don't understand. They'll have a pet, some type of dog, a cat, whatever it is, and they automatically become a mother. To the point where they'll even say they pushed it out. Now, I don't believe in insanity. So you ain't an asshole for telling her the truth. Because that shit doesn't make sense. I'm about to sit here and baby you, right? Because you can't have children. Now, I'm sorry that, and like I said, if she even heard this, I'm sorry you can't have children. I'm sorry about the infertility. However, you are insane to sit there and think that somebody finna sit here and recognize you as a mother because of some damn dogs. In that case, then everybody need a goddamn gift. As many pets I done damn had, and pets come and go. Animals don't even have rights like people. You hit a dog, and it's like, you hit a dog. Even a policeman may even just brush that off. You hit a person, even if that was an accident, that's an investigation. So that lets you know right then and there, your damn dogs don't carry no weight compared to a goddamn person. So that's number one. You're not a mother. You're not. You didn't push these dogs out. You went and you rescued them from a rescue shelter. You rescued them. You just got a free damn dog. Or you raised them from puppies. Other than that, you can let them go and they not going to get a job. You can let them go and they can pretty much fend for themselves if they know how to eat. So you just have an animal. You have a companion. Dogs don't live that long. So you're going to be childless in the next 10 years. And then you're going to have to get you another one. So, no, you're not a mother. The lady who wrote this, you're not an asshole for that shit. Like I said, You need to let her know that, because that shit is ridiculous. I don't agree with the pet owner shit. I'm a pet parent and all that bullshit. I ain't shit out no damn dogs. Hell, I had a goddamn pig. I ain't sitting there telling motherfuckers he was my brother. Crazy ass motherfucker. Am I the asshole for giving my daughter $60 a week, but my son nothing? I ain't got to read this. Yes, you are. You motherfucker. I, 45, have 2 kids, 17 female and 15 male. We moved earlier this year to be closer to my parents, as my parents' health is declining. My daughter was excited about the move, but my son has struggled to adjust. Due to the move, my job shifted to hybrid, and I needed a work-from-home setup. My bedroom is too small, and the only option were the lounge or one of the kids' rooms during school hours. I proposed this to them. My son flat out refused. No way in hell. But my daughter offered her room and half joked about charging me rent for the space. Okay, I can kind of see what you're doing. I thought it was fair, as I get a $20 a week work from home allowance. I agreed to give it to her if she was okay with me setting up a small office in her room. I work from 8:30 to 5, and she usually starts homework right after I finish, so it works out well. Now the issue. My son is pissed that his sister is getting $60. I don't do regular allowances, just canteen money, about $10 a week, and other needs as they come up. I told him he had the same opportunity and was now shit out of luck. He got angry and brought up the move, saying he never gets to see his friends. For the record, I drive them back to visit every 2 weeks for visits. I told him I understood his feelings, but said I wouldn't tolerate being spoken to like shit. He then started an argument with his sister too, going in on her for being an opportunistic bitch, and she called him a whiny little asshole. To cool off, I offered one of them the option to stay at their grandparents for the night. Not as a punishment, but to break the tension. My son opted to go, and while dropping him off, my mom told me I was favoring my daughter and should be paying them equally. My dad disagreed, saying my son had the chance and was shit out of luck. Am I the asshole? ETA. The conversation took place over the course of the afternoon, and I didn't immediately agree to the deal with my daughter. I offered it to my son first, who reiterated hell no and get the fuck out of my room. I also should mention the reason I have the smallest room is due to the lack of insulation in the ceiling and flooring, making it damp. And as we're heading into winter, I wasn't sending either kid in there. The room also fits a single bed and a set of drawers. With essentially no other space at all, we own a house in Auckland, NZ. Is that New Zealand? And I don't have the spare cash to get it insulated at the moment, or even fit any of my equipment to work from home in there. Okay, so I retract my statement. Now, somebody called him an asshole. I see that. I don't think so. Based on reading it the way I'm reading it, I don't think so. He seems like he's pretty understanding as a father. And it seems like he is a single father at that. So here's the thing about it. One, your son shouldn't be talking to you that way. And one thing I would say importantly is that you are too lenient as a father. So I will say that. You are very lenient, because ain't nowhere in the hell a 15-year-old boy finna be cussing at me and telling me what the hell he gonna do or what the hell I'm gonna do. You gonna get slapped across your teethuses. So if you don't know what teethuses are, just smile and I'll knock them bitches out and then show them to you. But I would say that, that's showing her, the business way and stuff like that, So it's like, okay, she said they got a reward for making a joke out of it, and then you made kind of a business venture out of it for her. So she kind of gets the idea of how to work for money. Now, you had to sit there and kind of train her as far as this is how you do stuff, like how to run a business and stuff. So you can't just sit there, because at the end of the day, that's your daughter. She thinking, oh, my daddy's just going to give me some money. But I think that is a good setup for her as a young adult to see This is like a form of business, what you're doing. Giving her ideas. Now that son, you gotta give him something. Like you gotta make him work. You gotta give him something that he's interested in and stuff. And I would say that would be fair to him if you did give him some type of opportunity as well. And I mean, like if he keep pushing back, I mean, you did your job, you kept trying. But I would say you need to do that more just for future reference, especially while he's still this young right now, because once he get 17, 18, you really ain't gonna be able to tell him shit. Your dad was right, like hell no, don't give him shit. Grandma told, would just give the baby a little sugar. Nah, fuck that. He gotta be a man. He gotta learn. You can't just give him shit. Nah, especially being a little asshole himself. He's the asshole. So am I the asshole? No, he is the asshole. So HITA, he is the asshole. Am I the asshole for kicking my 72-year-old mother-in-law out of the house at night because she threw away my things? I, 36 female, live with my husband, 41 male. I have a decent relationship with my mother-in-law. Compared to a lot of the horror stories I hear from friends, she's quite sweet and warm. She is, however, a little over-controlling. Overprotective? I'm not sure of the exact word. But she has very strong ideas about things and no sense of boundaries. For example, when she stays at our house, she takes over the kitchen completely and insists on cooking all of our meals. She cooks wonderfully, but she won't let me help her at all and puts everything away in the wrong places. And then insists that her way is more logical. Tell me about it. She only really comes for holidays, though, and I do like her a lot. So I don't mind putting up with the mild annoyances. I'm currently pregnant with our little girl who will be born in a few months. This is a miracle. I really didn't think it would happen, especially so late, but we got lucky. When my mother-in-law heard, she was super excited and said she would come over to help us get ready for the baby. She offered to stay for the next 6 months, or so to help out, because my husband and I both work long hours and it would be hard to handle the baby on top of this. She is also pretty emotionally invested in this because she truly sees herself as part of our family. She arrived a few days ago and set herself up. Then she started with the cleaning. I like collecting things from garbage sales and such. Things like little sculptures and books and baskets. Stuff a lot of people would consider utter junk. Our house is definitely overstuffed, but it's reasonably tidy and doesn't seem like a hoarder's house or anything. My mother-in-law, on the other hand, likes everything surgically cleaned. Yesterday, I came home from work to find the house like a war zone. She went through my cabinets and cleared out everything she considered junk, and had apparently made several trips to Goodwill before I got home. I was really angry and asked her why she would ever do this. She said the house has to be tidy for the baby, and that it would be dangerous for the baby to be in a cluttered house. Then she took the next huge bag of stuff and tried to walk out the door. I kind of lost it, and I told her she could get out right now. She was shocked that I was serious, and she said she doesn't have anywhere to go and it's so late. It was about 9:30. I booked her a hotel room and called a taxi. My husband came home an hour later, and when I told him what happened, he was furious with me. He said I disrespected his mom and was ungrateful for everything she's trying to do for us. Am I the asshole? Yes! This is one of the ones that's kind of tricky. Now, going a little personal with my household, I know exactly what the hell that means with that, it's slightly cluttered, but it's not a hoarder or nothing like that. You need to get rid of shit. And I'm pretty sure that it was not tidy enough for that baby. So I am with the 72-year-old mother-in-law with this one, is that she's trying to make sure that everything is in line for that child. Now, one thing about a house, every house has some sort of clutter, whether it be a cluttered room, a cluttered pantry, or the whole house is cluttered. A lot of people, especially families or married couples. So when it comes to talking about the house, and things that's considered other junk. Oh, I know what you mean. You got too much shit. You are what they call a pack rat. A pack rat is up under a hoarder. A hoarder is when you make them little fucking tunnels and shit like that with the newspapers or all the garbage. A pack rat is like how most people's families, like their grandmamas and stuff, how they have stuff in the corners and stuff like that. Because pack rats only pack corners. So it's one of the things where you can take a square house and it feels like you're in a circle. So for her throwing some things out, and then on top of that, she donated them. So she saw that it wasn't junk. She saw it was still worth to go to somebody. So I understand the feeling, but you overreacted like a motherfucker. And then to kick out an old lady in the middle of the damn night like that, you wrong as hell for that shit. Your husband ought to divorce you. No, I ain't gonna go that far. But your husband ought to do something to you so you just know. And I ain't talking about, talking about no, hit a bit type of shit. But still, something. Yeah, that one there, Jesus Christ, why would you do that? Like, yeah, you did disrespect that lady for that, because if you really liked her like you said you did, you wouldn't overreact it. And I know that was just sheer out of just anger and all that stuff. You just did it just because, it just hit y'all at once. I understand that. But that was one of the moments you should have been calm, because you already knew how the lady was. You knew she was a tidy person. You knew she was going to be staying for 6 months. She has to be comfortable, right? So if you cared about the bullshit you got, well, goddammit, you need to get you a clutter room, a she shed, or a chalet, or whatever they call them little houses on the outside of the house. Get that bullshit, put your shit over in there, and let this woman be comfortable. She gonna stay for 6 months. So, of course, that's a long transition. That ain't a weekend. So, yeah, she want to be comfortable, too. And then her give a damn and gave out. She don't give a fuck about none of that bullshit you got. So, yeah, you are an asshole. And I hope you see this video. You were wrong as hell for that, doing that. And husband, if you listening, you need to tell your wife, baby, you wrong for that bullshit. Why would you do that to that old woman like that? Just kicking out there in that cold. What if somebody did that to you with all that junk and clutter you got? They're talking about little sculptures and shit like that. You sitting there getting them little punk ass sculptures that it went from Walmart to TJ Maxx, and then it went from TJ Maxx to goddamn Goodwill. Then you went in Goodwill and got it. Ain't nobody wanted that half Buddha statue. Ain't nobody wanted that little twisted up looking thing that just sit right there on the desk. Whatever it is, it always be a bunch of bullshit that come out of them places. It don't be real art. It be just some factory made bullshit. So yeah, throw it away. Yeah, we're going to do this next time with another episode of Cooking with Country. If y'all stayed this long, I appreciate it. Like I said, if y'all want one of these shirts here, they're completely free. Just hit me up in the comment sections. We'll figure out how to get it to you and all that other good shit. And I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.